Welcome, movie fans. Thanks for joining us for episode 144 of Reading Between the Reels, the premier podcast of knowing our movie takes and judging them in advance. If you're a new listener, we're so glad you found us. If you've been enjoying the show, please like, follow, and subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. You can also support the show by posting on your socials and by joining our Facebook group. I'm Craig Dickinson. I'm joined tonight by Corey Heidschmidt. Justin should be back next time. What's up, Corey? How's it going?
I am doing fantastic, Craig. I'm here. It's Wednesday. There's 20 days of school left.
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
We're almost done. It's so good. Corey, what have you been watching when you're not working and with the middle schoolers?
Finished up season 1 of Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Wrapped up pretty good. Made me go, okay, I definitely got to go to season 2. So getting ready to start that. I am on episode 7 of The Boys, season 5.
Okay, a little behind
this
you.
season. Okay. This season has definitely taken a. This is dark. This is.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, it's very uncomfortable. It's very. It's very sadistic. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: there's a lot of there's some truth in there to where you look and they're definitely trying to paint different perspectives on things, but you kind of look and you go, "Wow, I see where that side is actually that side, and that side is But it's, man, it's dark. But I think there's one more episode. They're not afraid to kill off people this season, so
nope.
There's some good stuff. So
yeah.
That's where I'm at, and then my wife and I are kind of trying to decide what new show to watch now or show to revisit for a little bit of time.
Yeah,
we're in that bubble, and I think, Craig, I'm going to point this out because I'm going to see. Sometimes we have too many options.
Yeah.
Of things to watch because Netflix, Prime, Paramount, Peacock, Hulu, HBO. We have all these things, and I'm sitting there going. Like, honestly, there's times where I'm just scrolling through.
I know.
Like, okay, I like that series. Click it, to add it to my list, add it to my queue. My queue is too long, but I don't ever really feel the moment to start that one. I'm like, I need to watch that again. Seinfeld, I'll put that back in there. And so then you're like, Battlestar Galactica just came out on Paramount again. It just got added again. And I'm like, let's do that. But then, so there's too many options for us.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. When we were kids, we had 3 channels. And
what was on was what was on. Yeah.
What was on was what was on. And I think sometimes having too much is a bad thing.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know what you think.
I'm going to give you a suggestion because I've been begging you to watch this for years. And it's on Disney Plus.
I'm not watching Blade Runner.
No, it's not Blade Runner. No, it's not Blade Runner. Although we're going to touch about
Justin.
We're definitely going to talk about Blade Runner tonight, though. Alias.
Oh, I do. Yep. I do need to watch that. I think Janice started that once and never finished it.
It's 5 seasons, like 105 episodes. It's a cliffhanger like every week for the first 3 seasons. If the pilot doesn't catch you, and it is one of the all-time great pilots, we actually did this on the show. It's like an hour and a half for the first one. It was like a 2-hour on TV. Watch the pilot. Just go through the pilot. If the pilot doesn't grab you, then you're not going to like it. But I think it will. So that's my suggestion for you.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. It's J.J. Abrams. Back when you heard J.J. Abrams, that meant it was good automatically.
Yep.
No, not so much. So
he's all right.
Well, I'm kind of doing a similar thing. I absolutely have those things too, where I go through my queues and I'm like, what do I really need to watch? There's way too many options. But I finished, so I'm caught up on all my Apple stuff. So I watched a couple of movies. The last time I rewatched Patriot Games for the first time in forever.
Oh,
which is a good flick. It's like 92, so it's a little dated. But you got really young Sean Bean in that, which is kind of fun. And I forgot Samuel L. Jackson was in that movie, like really briefly. Get James Earl Jones. I always love it when you got James Earl Jones and Harrison Ford in a scene together. I'm like, please tell me they talked about Star Wars. I really hope they do. I mean, Harrison Ford maybe not because he's just like that, but it's Darth Vader and Han Solo in the same scene.
Yeah.
So I rewatched that, and then I finally got started with Mad Men, which I bought a while back but hadn't started it yet. So, have you seen Mad Men, Corey?
I have not.
I know Justin's watched it.
In my queue.
Yeah, so it's from I think 2007, so it's been out for a while, but it's set in 1960 is the first season, so it's intentionally dated.
Yes.
And I've been able to stay pretty spoiler free. Really good performances. John Hamm's the lead in that, and It's immersive. It's really good. It's not as intense as like some of these other shows. Like it's not Breaking Bad, but I can easily watch. I can watch 2 or 3 episodes pretty easily. The characterizations are really, really good. The writing's really strong. So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Okay.
Yeah. So speaking of Blade Runner,
which is futuristic.
Which was written. It was based on a novel. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Our movie tonight is based on a short story, a novella by Philip K. Dick called The Minority Report. So we're talking about Minority Report from 2002. Corey, what are your overall thoughts on Minority Report?
Tommy Cruise is fantastic. Okay, let me just tell you that. I love Tommy Cruise. He used to be crazy, and I think I used to not like him.
Yeah.
But now he's like Tom Brady. I can't help but look and say the guy is just the GOAT. He is just great.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, what are you going to do? Deny the numbers? So I think this is a thinking man's action movie. Like this movie, Craig, I feel like there are several categories in here that normally we talk about. I feel like there's a few categories we could also have a discussion on in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like the laws behind pre-crime. Like, is that something that should be debated? Kind of thing. Like, because there's some definite stuff in here that could be very applicable to the world today. But so I think this is a incredible mystery, thriller, corruption, and at the same time a little bit sci-fi, out there, futuristic, but it holds up well. Here we are 24 years later, and this movie has held up well. The technology's held up well. I think the car looks incredibly cool. I would love that car even today. There's a few Steven Spielberg campy scenes that happen, like the jetpack scene where the guy fries the burgers in the house, with the jetpack because they're spinning around. And I was like, okay, that's a Spielberg. That's, here's all this chaos. Oh, we just cooked your burgers for you with our jetpack. So, you look at it and you go, that Spielberg thought that was funny. And then the little tripod eye scanner things were definitely, a little throwback to wait, no, this was before War of the Worlds. But
3 years earlier, yeah.
He was thinking about it. He was already thinking about it. So, no, I love this movie. I think it's a great movie. It's one, anytime it's on, I will catch clips of it and watch it. To sit and watch the whole thing definitely takes a little bit of time because it is such a long movie. But I enjoy it. I love it. I think it's got great action. I think it has an ending that I don't like in the aspect of it wraps up too quickly with a monologue. I hate monologue wrap-ups. I feel like they're a lazy way out. So, but we also got that in War of the Worlds last time with Spielberg. So the monologue I feel is just kind of like a post-credit writers write themselves out kind of thing.
Yeah.
You might as well put it as a post-credit scene.
I know what you're saying.
But anyway, so that's where I'm at. I think it's a great thinking man's action movie. Fantastic. Holds up. What about you?
Yeah, I also agree. I think this is really aged really, really well. Much more so than War of the Worlds. I enjoyed War of the Worlds, but this is a superior film, I think, in just about every way. I think it's interesting. I think we'll talk about this a little bit more. There's a lot of predictive technology that has come to pass.
Yes,
which is really interesting. 24 years later at the time of this recording, a lot of stuff you're like, oh, I remember watching this in the theater and be like, oh, wow, that's really futuristic. And now it's like, yeah, that's regular things like targeted ads, which we'll definitely talk about.
Yes,
so many things are like, yeah, that's a thing we do now.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal.
We just accept it.
Yep,
pre-crime is on the way.
But the thing that I always forget about this movie is how you kind of have this theme of free will versus determinism and the religious aspects of it, where you have, it's not really, it's not hit over your head so much, but like Colin Farrell's character, Whitwer, has a religious background. Like he was going to be a priest. Mm-hmm. So they bring in all of that. And then you have Anderton's utilitarianism. And as we get into this, I really want to talk about kind of why he views that way, why he really values the idea behind fate controlling everything. I think that's a really important thing for him. So we'll get into that. But yeah, that's also just kind of reminds me a little bit of Blade Runner. Sorry, Corey, I have to say it though. Like where, you know, what your fate is. What are you fated for? Are you just supposed to be beyond your purpose? That kind of thing. So I mean, it's Philip K. Dick, which makes sense. I mean, he also wrote Total Recall, or at least the source for Total Recall. And so it's interesting when to watch. Like I would at some point kind of want to watch those 3 movies consecutively, and just to kind of see, like, again, because I know I haven't watched Blade Runner in a while, and I haven't seen Total Recall in a really long time, but I can just think back of like, okay, this feels like it really could be part of the same extended universe in a lot of ways.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to tell you right now, one of my notes in here is that the cityscape and everything, when we finally start talking about like world building, I have in here, it's Total Recall's world.
Yeah.
The buildings, the city, the how crowded it is, everything it feels like this could just be a different avenue on the same world at the same time. You got Total Recall taking place on this block, and you got Pre-Crime taking place over on this block. So, I mean, it's the same world. So you could tell there's definitely some influence there.
Yeah.
But
that's fun. So let's dig into some of those things. For cinematography, Corey, what do you have for composition, color, camera work, some things that you jumped out and meaning you took from those things?
Well, I mean, it's very Spielberg feeling. There's a lot of sweeping cameras that we get in some of these shots, and that's kind of a Steven Spielberg thing you're going to get in any of these views. But just one of the things that I want to talk about is how incredibly white glare and washed out this whole movie is. Like once he gets Agatha out, especially, it is white glare. Behind every window, you can't see what's outside the window. It's as if they put the lights right behind the window and just shined it straight in. And so, I guess I'm looking and saying that I think it's Agatha's out in the world, and so he's just creating this glare, this blinding. Is it a memory? Is it a futuristic view? What are we looking at? And so there was a reason for it, but it makes everything glossy.
Yeah, I read about that. About it's overlit. And then they actually bleach bypassed the negative. Part of it is, my understanding is that they wanted it to, and it's not in black and white, but it almost feels like it is. And it's because of, even though this is set in the future and there's lots of futuristic tech and stuff, it's essentially it's film noir at its heart, right? It's a detective story. Like this could have easily been, at its heart, it's a story from like the 30s or the 40s. And so it kind of evokes that.
Okay, so like a man who's tricked into going to work here with his death of his son.
Yeah.
And then
it's
finds
like double
out,
indemnity.
Set up, and exactly. Yes.
It's that kind of stuff. And I think the score, when we get to that, like reminds me a lot of that too, where I'm like, and I'll just kind of sneak. There's not really leitmotifs in this. There's like one or two, but the thing that kind of stuck out to me, just it fits well to say this here, is that it reminded me a little bit of the Raiders score. Being that, since that's set in the 30s, that I was kind of, okay, that kind of evokes that same kind of film noir feeling to it.
Yes.
Which is this weird marriage of futuristic sci-fi and film noir. But it absolutely works. But it then also makes, things like the red ball for Crimes of Passion really stand out.
Yeah.
Right? That's super important. I can see
you could almost release a version of this in black and white, except for like the red ball or certain images, and have that, and it would be definitely a dominant take on it.
Yeah. Some other things
go ahead. No, you go.
Okay. So the other thing that I thought was really interesting is that instead of doing frequent shot counter shots when you're having two characters having a conversation and you can just flipping back and forth between the two of them, he's often doing just like these really long takes, and there's a couple of that I thought were really interesting. There's one when the first time where Anderton and Whitmer comes in for the first time, and they're talking about, it's a conversation about the precog seeing what you intend to do versus what you will do. Anderson says they don't see what you intend to do, they see what you will do. It's that one where he catches the ball. You have Anderton's in profile on the left, like just that's all you see is from the side, and then you have Fletch, his head is right in the center, and Whitfer's in profile right. And that's a long conversation where they're just talking about the two sides, of the argument, right? The predetermination versus free will. And so you get, instead of, it's very much hammering home that there are two distinct sides for this. And it's like, does Fletch kind of fit in the middle of that? It's also at the back of his head, which is really interesting. You also see this with later on in the film where Whitwer is confronting Burgess about the need to bring Anderton in. And again, same kind of deal where we're on opposite sides and they're having this full conversation. And instead of doing the traditional thing like we see is focus on this guy's face who's talking and then focus on this guy's face who's talking, it's just in profile. So some interesting techniques to drive those home.
I never pay attention to those things. I'm trying to, but it's just lost on me when I'm watching. But again, I'm focused on the story and I'm focused on all of those things that How many times did you watch it to catch those things?
Well, I mean, some of this I caught like in research that was something to be looking for.
Okay.
So I only watched this the one time, but I paused it a lot.
Okay.
And rewound. Yeah. So it's like, that's another thing. Like the foreground obstruction. Now that Justin said that, I'm always looking for it. Like that is going to be the hallmark of Spielberg. And the one that and there might be others, but the one that I really thought was interesting in this one is early in the film, like the first guy they go after, Marks, you see through the bars of the merry-go-round spinning, you see Anderton. And it seemed to me that the point of that is he's trying to see, he can't quite tell which house he's supposed to go into, and they have that whole conversation, was the door open, all that stuff. And so we can't quite see him in the same way, or the house either, which I thought was kind of brilliant.
Yeah. Did you ever notice that like the clips where they're seeing the vision and they're playing the vision, it's almost as if there's a couple frames missing, and it makes it kind of gitchy, like to where it just it skips a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but it definitely has that hallucination type feel.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, and it's, so when you watch that, you can always tell when you're looking at a vision, when you're looking at it not. But it's one of those things where I look at it and I go, wait, so you're, like you said with the ball, the rolling off and what they were going to do versus what they did do or would have done.
Yeah.
Like it really catches me, like the big discussion. My wife and I ended up pausing it. Like, can you really arrest somebody for something that you thought they were going to? I mean, isn't there something to be said about the very last minute making that choice to say, I mean, he proved he can do it.
Yep.
Like you can choose something different at that moment. It still happened, but it happened differently. And so I don't know. We kind of went rounds on it about the validity of that type of thinking.
Yeah.
But he was dead set sold on it. Like when he explained it, he was absolutely 100% bought in when he was, going to arrest people. And then when it's his turn, very different.
A film like this with such deep themes, I feel like I'm always going to be just bringing in stuff from the different aspects we do. I don't want to wait. So I have tons of quotes because I think this is a super quotable movie.
Yes.
But I think the most apt quote for that is where Hinneman says, the doctor says, the precogs are never wrong, but occasionally they do disagree. Which that's both, like, so they're wrong sometimes.
So they're
right?
wrong.
So
no, they're not wrong.
She's like, no, they see it differently. But we interpret it, right? Or I should say the pre-crime guys, the officers interpret what they think it is. And so they're so it's not first hand, right? It's second or third hand that they're making these determinations on.
And only one of them is really the strongest, and the other two are kind of weaker precogs. So, I mean, the whole thing is flawed, but we've built our entire city around this.
So good.
And we have stopped murders. Absolutely. Has not been one.
Yeah.
However,
people are scared. They don't want to do it, which that's not bad. A couple of Dutch angles in this, too. That's the last couple of things I had. Just, there is a part where Anderton says, Whitwer's getting the tour again, which is a great thing because you have to have him as the stand-in for the audience so they can explain the process to us, and it's not clunky exposition. Brilliant use of exposition in a natural way. Anderton says it's better if you don't think of them as human at one point, and it's a full Dutch angle. Like, that's not the right way to be approaching this. And then, of course, you also have it in the amazing. This movie takes a left turn when he goes to Dr. Solomon Eddy's apartment to get his eyes replaced. There's quite a bit of Dutch angle in that too, because that is a wacky situation.
Oh my gosh, that whole scene is disgusting. The fridge is disgusting.
It's so nasty.
The eyeballs. Oh my gosh!
Could you have not have emptied your fridge before you told the guy?
You know what it made me think was that it was all the same stuff that was in there that someone had he'd done this. This is the same place he does.
Yeah, that's
does
just like last week's version.
Yeah, that's last week. Just
Gross.
saying. That's where he got the eyeballs from last week.
Yeah, exactly.
Those were Mr. Yamamoto's.
I didn't think about that, but you're probably right.
That's what I thought, because I thought, why does he just have a pair of eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, they're in the freezer.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about with visuals before we move on to sound?
Just two things. I think the cityscape is absolutely incredible. Very futuristic looking. It's how you picture, just very crowded. You feel almost like an oppressive feel, which you should feel if you're going to live in this much of a dystopian future. And then the other part, I'm going to say that the jetpack scene where they fight and they first try and arrest Anderton with Neil McDonough, and he's like, that little standoff between him and Tom Cruise, where Neil McDonough's like, okay, I'm taking you down, and Fletcher's thinking this, and he's like, I'm going to run. You don't run. They always run. They're having this little banter, and then this scene just goes up into the sky, Yeah, and I think it's just an incredible scene. I loved it. I thought it was great. That whole part with the jetpack was fantastic. It's a little hokey jetpack. I think they would do it better today with CGI.
Yeah, some wire work there and stuff.
Yeah, but still, I think it's an incredible escape into it and a different view of it. So I loved it. Thought it was a great spot.
Cool. So I do love the sound of the jetpack. So I'll transition that way. And that sonic weapon in the car factory is pretty great.
Yes.
But I was thinking. I'm thinking of the kind of the inevitability rather of the rolling murder balls, like that sound.
Yes.
Which all of that is really interesting too, because it's like all of this is super futuristic with the holograms and all of this, the glass and the chrome, and then it's like we have this, wooden ball
that we etch.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
It's a great dichotomy there, so that's fun.
For sound, did you think that the whole the jetpack scene, it sounded very Indiana Jones music motif that was going on? Like, you listen to the music in the background in that whole jetpack thing, and I'm going to tell you, you could show someone who has no idea what movie it is, they're going to say that's a Steven Spielberg movie. They're going to know it's either. Yeah, I know it's John Williams, but I'm going to be like, it's either an Indiana Jones sound or it's an E.T. sound. I mean, John Williams is so recognizable, but John Williams for Steven Spielberg has a very different sound than John Williams for other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a distinct Spielberg sound.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about this score, and I'll get to the second part in a minute, is that most of there's a lot of classical. That's what I'll get to in a minute. A lot of classical music that's put in here diegetically, but a lot of this, the score, it's good, but it's kind of just melts into the background. And this is what I was talking about. Like, it's kind of hard to. It's not hummable at all. It's just that kind of that film noir stuff. John Williams said he was inspired by Bernard Herrmann, who wrote a lot of stuff for Hitchcock as well. But there is one track. Everybody Runs is the name of the track, and then it's also Anderton's Great Escape. It's the same leitmotif. That's the vertical car chase is the Everybody Runs track, and then Anderton's Great Escape is the thing in the alley with the jetpacks and whatnot. Super rhythmic, really kinetic, and it's got this like rapid repeating strings. I looked this up, ostinatos. So I'm not a music guy, but it's got ostinatos, which drives it. And that might be what you're talking about. It feels like, that's John Williams. That's an action scene for John Williams. It's moving things along. It's
his sound.
Yeah. But as far as the classical pieces, the one I found, there's a ton of this. There is when they turn on the hologram at the beginning. They do this twice, actually. They're like, all right, we're going to go scrub the footage, and this is for the first, at the very beginning, I'm going to go find this guy. The song that's playing is Franz Schubert's Symphony No. 8, which is it's called the Unfinished Symphony, which is interesting because it's an incomplete future, right? It's fragmented visions. So it's like if you know what the song is, and I only know now because I looked it up, like it's hitting you over the head with, they're working with incomplete information.
Okay.
The music is telling us that.
If you knew that very well. I mean, if you knew that enough.
Because that's also the same song that plays when John is looking on the for the files for info on the Leo Crow murder, which is also, incomplete and fake and all that stuff. So
yeah,
that's pretty great. But again, kind of going back to like the religious thing, which I just keep hitting us over the head. Like when they go into the containment chamber and that guy Gideon, which a biblical name, hello,
yes, Gideon.
He's playing Toccata and Fugue in D minor, which you know the song. It's very obviously a song we've heard before, very gothic organ piece. He also later time when you go back, he's playing Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. I mean, it's like, yes, this is kind of like he's my flock, and there's all this religious terminology and religious music, and just kind of hammering home this dichotomy between science and religion. It's just really smart and philosophical, just kind of rammed into this sci-fi movie.
Just Gideon, the name on it, because I had looked this up earlier and I had to look it up just to double check. That name meant cut off in the original Hebrew, like to hew down, cut off.
Okay.
And it was a prominent judge in the Book of Judges, and so I felt like when they did that, that's an intentional name because all those prisoners are cut off. They're all descended down into the thing, and it just matches. I think it fits that whole feel of who he is. So it was good.
Yeah, that's a good poll. I didn't look that up. That's awesome. Let's see, what else did I have for that one? Just I really like the pre-crime propaganda video at the beginning, which is again another way to kind of slide in that exposition, and then. We talked about this before, like the whole variety of targeted ads that keep coming at us. Which, I mean, they're not quite doing that, but like if you've scrolled through your social media, like they're not calling you out by name necessarily.
Two things that are a little scary about this. I have heard from technology stuff that face recognition software nowadays is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And that more than it would be scary how real it could work. Like you're walking somewhere and beep, it pulls the faces, right? I get that because I can see that in my phone where like I go to take a picture of something and it picks a face up. You can get it to do that. So that part kind of makes me go, those targeted ad things could be something that would happen. You go walking into, J.C. Penney's, bing, here's an ad. Hey, just a coupon. I know you're here, And so, I mean, in a sense, we're getting there. We're heading to that.
That felt really real to me. That did not feel like science fiction at all. That's just an extension. Like it might already be available. They just haven't rolled it out yet or told us.
I'm going to tell you, I open up McDonald's app, and when I hit pick up because I'm going to order a McDonald's somewhere, and it shows the globe, and then it zooms into where I'm at and says, here's the 5 McDonald's that are around you. Which one are you going to? Yeah. We're there. Yeah. We just aren't scanning the eyeball yet. They're scanning my phone.
Nice. All right. Anything else with sound before we skip down to performance? Good. Okay. So, solid movie. I don't know if anybody stands out as being better than anybody else, but Spielberg's an amazing director, so he's going to pull great performances out of everybody. But I'm thinking just like lines of dialogue. We've already referenced a couple of lines of dialogue, but Corey, did you have some words of wisdom or something that you pulled out of this? I'm sure
I do.
There's so many good things.
There are so many good things in this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, first off, I got to go with a little wise quote. I love wisdom in movies. Dr. Iris Heinemann, okay, she's talking to him, and she says, sometimes in order to see the light, you have to risk the dark. And absolutely cherish that comment because I feel like sometimes you can think you get on this mountaintop idea where I just have to be away from everything, but you kind of withdraw. That's not real. You have to risk the dark to see and appreciate the light. And so you kind of have to go where the problems are to fix the problems. And that it could go in so many different ways philosophically, but I think that was a great quote. I loved it.
Nice. I just have a couple that are just kind of one-offs. They're kind of short, but I'll just go with this first one first. First time that Anderton goes down and talks to Gideon, and he's trying to figure out what's happening with the can't remember the name of the woman that got murdered. Ultimately, it's her mom. Gideon says, "Careful, Chief. Dig up the past. All you get is dirty."
Yes, all you get is dirty.
Yeah.
That guy is great. That's Gideon.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. That guy shows up in some weird parts too.
Yeah, that's what, Tim Blake Nelson? Yeah. Tim Blake Nelson, yeah.
Okay, this one, I'm going to tell you, Tom Cruise talking at the very end to Lamar, and this one is an incredible logic argument where he says, you see the dilemma, don't you? If you don't kill me, precogs were wrong, pre-crime is over. If you do kill me, you go away. But it proves the system works. The precogs were right. So what are you going to do now? What's it worth? One more murder? You'll rot in hell with a halo, but people will still believe in pre-crime. Like, that whole speech he gives is just powerful. There's a lot to unpack in that whole thing.
Yeah.
But when you go and you give this speech and he does it in such a great way, and it's just a crescendo of all of the climax of everything, and you're just getting this, okay, we're faced with a choice. Now, he's already screwed because Tom Cruise's wife knew at that moment that he killed Ameline. So no matter what, he's out. And then the people had just saw what happened on the video. So it's like no matter what, he's out. However, Tom Cruise had a great point. It's like your legacy is tarnished no matter what you do. But you can still prove it's right. Yeah. You could save it, but you have to sacrifice yourself. Anyway.
Yeah. Anne Lively is the woman whose name I couldn't remember.
Yes, Anne Lively.
Agatha's mom. Okay. Another one I have. This is from an earlier scene, but it's also, this is Lamar. This is Max von Sydow's character, and he says to Anderton, "My father once said to me, you don't choose the things you believe in; they choose you." And the more I looked at this movie, and I'll talk more about this when we get down to world building and stuff, Anderton has to believe. I think I might have mentioned this earlier. He has to believe in pre-crime. He has to believe in fate because of what happened with his son. He has to believe on some level that there was nothing he could have done.
Yes.
Because the alternative is just unacceptable.
Yeah.
And even though he's still punishing himself for it, but he still has to believe that there is fate, running this thing.
Gosh. There has to be at some point. You can't do this and not believe in some part of fate. That's the whole point. And I think his wife points that out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would drive him to murder. That's the only thing. You knew that, and you...
Brilliant twist, though. My goodness.
He went there to stop it from happening to others. And
yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a heavy movie, but it's so good. It
is.
So I'm looking farther down on performance stuff. The scrubbing the image with specific hand motions, which again was really radical at the time. Of course, we see this very famously in Iron Man, but like anybody that's ever done anything with VR, we're doing this already.
Yes.
And this was so radical and so cool looking and so brand new. Like, wow, we're doing it now.
Yeah. I think we're kind of close to this where... Yeah, the scene that stands out to me when you talk about the VR part is the one guy when they open the door and he's sitting there and he's got a crowd around him and they're like, "You're the man. No, you are. You're good. You're good. Yeah. No, you're great." Like he just wanted the affirmations.
That's it.
And so his VR was an escape. And the other guy, I want to kill my boss. I can't kill him, but I just want to kill him in a VR scene because then it's my escapism.
Yeah, which is funny because they put him in those big old pods. It's like, no, we have a headset. We'll just put a headset on you.
Just put a little headset on him. And
that's all it needs.
That's all we need.
We're way past that now.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, you can get gloves for the pre-crime computer. I'll put that under costumes and stuff. And you mentioned in your one quote, you mentioned that with the halo on, which again, there's more religious aspects there on the pre-murderers. I thought was real interesting too. The pre-crime jumpsuits contrasted. Whitwer he's tie and suspenders. Like he's very old-fashioned and very formal. Which again shows that contrast between that kind of religious. It's not strictly religious, but you can see if we're separating, secular and non-secular. Like, yeah, that's pretty clear there too.
Yeah, especially because the gift they give him is an old Civil War gun, which dates him even further back.
Oh yeah, to Burgess. Yeah.
Yes, to Burgess. So I feel like that even dates things even further, from Burgess to Anderton to one quote I got to add in here that I absolutely love because I thought it was so funny is when he's talking to the guy who's going to hack Agatha's mind, and he says, "I'm sorry for whatever I'm going to do, and I swear I didn't do any of the stuff I did." Like, just it's
Great
almost
line.
like I got to do a confession. I am sorry for what I'm going to do, and I swear I didn't do what I already did. So I think that's a great catch. So it was good. I mean, there's not a lot of moments in this movie where you get humor like that.
Yeah.
And the way you get it is to get the people that are a little bit further down into the world of it. So that's it. Where else did you get a laugh? Where else did you get a chuckle?
I don't know.
The eye guy maybe. You
Yeah,
get a couple
he's
chuckles
just so
in there.
over the top and whatever. But yeah, that
Other than
one
that
section is pretty gives you a little break. I guess a little bit when he goes to the doctor goes to Heinemann's house. There's a little bit there. And there's another quote I'll just pull out just real fast. I want to see if I can find it real fast. Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, that's sarcastically. That's all. I'm just walking to pre-crime, getting to the temple. That's another thing. Somehow tap into the precogs and download this Minority Report. It's like if you have one, and then walk out. Actually, I think you have to run out. But yes, that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah. See, that's
Very
the only
dry,
other part where you get these
a little bit
chuckles.
of levity. Yeah.
Yes. There's not much in there.
Nice little break from that. Moving down to setting design, you mentioned the skyline. Like this was filmed in Washington D.C. and in Virginia, so you see some real world locations. Like the Ronald Reagan Building is the pre-crime headquarters. You see Georgetown, yeah, skyline of Roslyn, Virginia, when he's flying over the Potomac. So that ends this verisimilitude, this realism to it, because it doesn't feel. So again, and also watching this now, where we're getting a lot of this technology, like already, it does not feel alien.
No,
it feels very realistic.
Almost
too much.
2002, they were using glass for like discs and scanning things up onto computers. It's gesture-based control on computers and devices and things, where he's got the stuff on his hands and he's maneuvering things. There was a point, I think, where we were doing that kind of stuff, but I think, like the Kinect was stuff after that. But I think we've kind of moved away from that a little bit, like gesture-based. But I think you look at the setting and design that they set up, the gesture-based computers, the retina scanning, targeted ads, self-driving cars. My gosh, we're already there on self-driving cars.
We have that.
I have my brother-in-law has a Tesla, and he self-drove his car to the beach 4 hours away, all the way there and all the way back on self-drive. And it's like, are you kidding me? This is where we're at? I can't trust that. I can't trust a car to do this.
No.
But at the same time, it was very cool. So it's all ahead of its time, I think, back then. And I think we've Spielberg, in building this world, must have been talking to futuristic people and saying,
futurists for sure.
What's a plausible thing? Back to the Future went so far, 35 years, we never got the stuff that we were promised. I still don't have my hoverboard.
Where's my
Steven Spielberg makes this movie, and I look and I go, actually, we do have some of the things or similar things than what he did.
We do.
So
the eye scanner. That's how you open your iPhone.
The
face recognition, right?
Oh my gosh!
And you're just glass screen with like those apps that you can move anywhere you want, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. So much product placement in this. That's kind of a hallmark of Spielberg, though, right? Like, it's gonna
sell
be
ads.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Again, it kind of lends to the realism of it. The only thing that was kind of, I think it was completely made up was that cereal box that was like a singing cereal box.
Yeah, that part was.
Well, what about what I was thinking? That newspaper that updated itself. Like, is that a subscription service? Like, how would that work? Because you don't have to buy a new newspaper; it just updates it for you.
That's an iPad,
right?
That's our phone, right? Isn't that where we're at now? You just refresh your page.
But it was just funny. It was like it's an actual paper, like it's a paper,
and it just.
But it still does
updates.
That. Yeah.
Well, newspapers are gone. Does anybody? I don't. Anybody get a paper anymore? No. So, if you're a newspaper person, I'm sorry, I just insulted you, but.
Nah, there's a good mix of stuff. We talked about, I had the wooden balls down here for props too. This kind of old-fashioned thing just kind of sticks out. But I think that's really interesting. Even to have like the almost bug-like hovercraft that they have.
Yes.
Very alien, very oppressive, very militaristic.
Yep. The way when they came down out of that, like SEAL Team 6 coming down off the ropes and in their body armor and helmets, and That was very
Yeah.
emotionally cold, just kind of the futuristic dystopian.
Yeah. You know what I know Justin and I talked about this a little bit at lunch, but the reasoning behind the 6 sticks, I don't quite know. It's funny. Like, you stick you with that and then you have to throw up. Like, it could just tase you, but no, I'm going to make you vomit on top of it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're called. They're called 6 sticks, which is pretty great.
It makes you sick. You want to buy some death sticks?
No.
That's what it made me think of. But
yeah. It's right there. So, let's see. Anything else you want to talk about with setting and design?
I think we're good for characters.
Yeah. So characters, obviously we talked about
Or
Tom Cruise. Yeah. I'm just looking through. Tom Cruise plays Anderton, Max von Sydow, Lamar Burgess, Colin Farrell plays Danny Whitwer, Samantha Morton. I don't know if I've seen her in anything before this.
I was crushed. I'm gonna just say right now, I was crushed when Colin Farrell died. When he killed Colin Farrell. First off, when Burgess says, "You know what I hear? I don't hear anybody coming."
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh, that's
you
great.
knew. He already knew I am going to kill this man, and was committed to it, and knew, you know what? Agatha's not there. There's no pre-crime. I can do this, and so he's just getting away with a murder, and he knew it. And I feel so bad because Colin Farrell was the bright, shining hope in this, you know, and then when he gets shot, his death scene I thought was incredible. The way he died, slowly, kind of chuckled like I was right, and then just collapsed.
They set him up as the villain. Like, we're supposed to think initially he's the bad guy.
Yes.
Right? Because we love Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is the good guy, and this guy doesn't like Tom Cruise, and they're fighting, so he must be the bad guy. And they see things. They see the world differently, definitely.
Yes.
But he's a good guy too, and so then you get the flip of him, like, let's do the right thing, and it's like, and you're dead. Like, oh, I was just starting to like you.
And it was great how Spielberg, we know what happened and didn't have to show us. I like this because movies, sometimes we get so caught up, especially like The Boys, where it has to be so graphic and so horrible.
Always.
But like Spielberg here does a great job where we see him, we get the little bit of blood coming out in the shirt, and he kind of just chuckles and sits down. And then when Burgess goes to shoot him, he steps over the camera and his trench coat closes. And then we hear the gunshot. So we don't need to see it, but we allude to it. And so, but his character, I think, is incredible. I think his performance was wonderful. I like Colin Farrell, so I think he does a great job.
Yeah. I'm just looking through some of the. I mean, it's a big cast, but some of the other highlights. Peter Stormare, who plays Dr. Solomon P. Eddy, the underground surgeon who replaces his eyes, is always great to see him in anything that he's in.
Yes.
Always, again, he's in Armageddon. He's fantastic. Just some other, just like really tiny, small parts. The guy, the hotel clerk, in the building that Crow is in, that's William Mapother. I'm not sure how to say his last name. He's in Lost, though. That guy, Ethan in Lost. He's Tom Cruise's cousin. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Frank Grillo is in this.
Frank Grillo. Yes.
He does have the mustache. It's a little hard to tell, but if you look carefully, he's in there. And then the guy who has the newspaper that changes on the subway, that's Cameron Crowe, the director, who did, among other things, Jerry Maguire. So that's...
Who is the other guy who's with Neil McDonough in a couple scenes? He's the other cop. I'm trying to find him right now. I don't think it's Patrick Kilpatrick, is it?
Yeah, he's a guy that we recognize.
He plays a villain in some movie and is absolutely creepy as all get out.
Yeah, while you're looking at that up, Steve Harris, who was in...
Yeah, it is him.
Now, Steve Harris is a different guy. He's the guy... He plays Jad. He was in The Practice, I think. I can't remember who that other guy is.
It is. It's Patrick Kilpatrick.
Okay.
And
great name.
He is a incredible movie. He's in a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme where he was in Death Warrant and he played the Sandman. And he was such a good villain. And he's so creepy that when he's doing these scenes where he's supposed to be a cop, like part of this, a pre-crime cop, I'm just like, that guy's bad. I'm telling you right now, that guy's bad. Like I can't see him in anything else.
Yeah.
Like I knew.
He's essentially a good guy in this, which is kind of different.
Essentially, well, but he definitely looked like he was going to rough people up. Like he was not. He didn't. No, but like everybody's performance. Like, this is a star-studded cast, but then there's some performances in here that are really good and catch you. Max von Sydow, I think he did an incredible job, just being a villain in this movie.
Yeah,
and how he talked and how he ran things out. I mean, he carried a lot in there. So,
yeah, I should call out Catherine Morris. She's the one that played Laura, John's ex-wife. She was in Cold Case, I think, right about the same time. So there's a bunch of people that were like just TV, essentially quote unquote TV actors, but she's really good in this too. She's very sympathetic. I really like that one speech. She's talking to Colin Farrell and talking about why they got divorced. And it's like, is it because he was this kind of guy? And it's like, no, because every time I, looked at him, I saw my son. Every time I smelled him, I smelled my boy.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's brutal. But yeah.
That is brutal. That whole scene, that whole stuff tears me up.
It brings it back it brings it back together. I love how maybe that's a little schmaltzy or whatever at the end when they get back together and like she's pregnant and they're going to have another kid. And it's like, he deserves that, man. It's been... He's been through hell.
Yes. Can I just tell you how creepy Agatha is? Samantha Morton as Agatha is in a couple scenes. Like, she is creepy.
Run!
And her run scene, that's the exact one I was sitting here talking about, is when she says run and screams, and it's silent, the camera's tight on her face.
Terrifying.
It's almost like she's a zombie or something. It creeps me out every single time. And this time was no different. I watched it and I said...
so good.
I said, I don't like that scene. It just throws me off. But
have you seen? I just remembered something else I'd seen her in much later. Did you watch the Fantastic Beasts movies?
Nope.
You've never seen those?
No.
Did you watch the Harry Potter movies?
I did watch the Harry Potter movies. I stopped at Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's
I watched all the
we saw. I know we saw Deathly Hallows in the theater.
I've read all the books.
Okay, well, Fantastic Beasts. You should at least the first one. The first one's really good. She is in that and plays the adopted mother of the Flash. I can't remember. Ezra Miller is in that too. He's really good in those actually. And she's a very different character. You almost won't recognize her, but like she has this very specific look, and that voice is really unique. And so when you watch her, you're like, wait, oh, that's where I know her from. So yeah, you should check out Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's a good movie.
Okay.
I'm looking down Hero's Journey here. Very similar to what I said for War of the Worlds. That Cruise is very flawed in this.
Yep.
Which he has the whole drug addiction thing, which is really an interesting... Like, it makes sense. Like, for all the stuff that he's been through, that he would have this issue.
Could you blame him? Oh.
No. Especially because it's Neurowin, which is just... it's something that's supposed to just... yes, it gets you high and you can just kind of mellow out and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing, which is interesting. That's also the same drug that, Anne Lively took that ended up resulting in the precogs. So, what I was going to say is what I thought was interesting is when you look at the setup, right? I think it's really interesting. I think that honestly, John is set up for 3 reasons. I think that the almost obvious one is because he's trying to figure out the Anne Lively murder.
Yes.
Which puts that's Max von Sydow, right? He's trying to cover that up. But also, I think that because you talk about the speech at the end, that it justifies pre-crime. It's super public.
Yeah.
That shows that he gets set up. So it's that if he follows through on that, then that's showed that pre-crime was right. But also, I think the fact that he has that drug addiction, like that's a PR nightmare. So you're trying to go national with this thing. Like, I would want to get that guy out of my program.
Oh, so you're thinking that they did that? This was all we got to get him out.
I don't know if it's necessarily like. I don't know if that necessarily was an immediate like reason why, but I think that once he made the decision, once he saw, okay, well, John is investigating this, I have to cover my butt. Also, I have this and I have this. I've got other reasons to justify this really, really quickly.
Yes. I thought because when his ex-wife was talking to Lamar at the end and he was talking about, she said, I thought you were going to enjoy retirement and he's coming back out.
Yeah.
And I felt like, oh man, this is a guy who didn't want his legacy to just someone else. He's got to keep in it. Like he was being forced to retire, and now I don't want to retire. I'm still in here. Yeah. And so
like Sheev.
I initially thought that's why he was pushing John out, but okay. I see what you're doing. Yeah.
No, I think that's legitimate too. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to leave. One thing I had a big question about, because I'm kind of down to world building, which we talked about a lot. Now it's just kind of feels, it's like an extension of our world, but it's very dense. Like I know there was a TV show that came after this, which I never saw, and I'm kind of wishing I would have. Like this is a deep world. Like you could spend a lot of time with this.
Yes.
So the whole thing about this is setting up this. We have this DC is kind of the prototype, right? And we're going to try and go national with this program. Like, did they already have the other precogs lined up? Or are they expecting these 3 precogs to take care of other cities in the entire country? Like, what's the plan for that? It never gets addressed.
And that is like a plot hole to where I was like, wait a minute, do we have other precogs in motion? I mean, there's got to be something. You can't just expect 3 people to cover a nation and then, I mean, there must be somebody.
It's threadbare if it doesn't go all the way through yet. Yeah. Something's funky about that.
He was getting ready to go national. They would have built the program.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming Heinemann mentions that there were others. Like a lot of them died. So there's a possibility of that. But how they get to that, are there others? They don't really address that.
They're looking for other force-sensitive children to put it in the program.
Okay, Corey. Final thoughts on Minority Report. I got a bunch of stuff I want to say at the end. It didn't fit anywhere else, but
I won't go too long on this one. I'm going to tell you this.
Go as long as you want, but
I think this is a blockbuster movie. I loved this movie when it first came out. I've watched this movie several times since then. This is the kind of movie you can rewatch. I mean, it does have some heavy topics. It does have some great discussions. If you can find someone who wants to talk about the discussion, finer points of the implications of pre-crime and pre-thought and all this, and predestination versus free will. I mean, there's some incredible stuff here to talk about. I definitely want to know how people would rank this. Like, do you think this is one of Steven Spielberg's best sci-fi movies that he's done? Because I think easily top 3 for me. One of his best. E.T. is incredible. But this movie is incredible. This is a great movie with some great aspects, some great predictions that have turned out true, great world building, incredible performances, with some stories that, other than the precog going national and where we're getting more precogs, I mean, this is a movie that is very tight as far as plot holes and plot mistakes. So I like it. I enjoy it. I'll watch it again. So I'm definitely in. What about you?
So, I mean, I just was left with questions. So, for instance, like, assuming that pre-crime works, that they are legitimately stopping what is going to happen, not what could, which is a whole other question unto itself. Does 1 or 2 murders justify keeping that thing in place? Burgess seems to think so. Right? It's like, I'm going to kill Ann Lively so that I can save all these other people.
Well, and how long does the sentence last for pre-crime?
Well, I'm assuming it's permanent.
They're permanently...
Although they don't execute them, which is interesting. They don't believe in the death penalty.
So they put them in a... I don't know. You bring up such a great point right there. Like, what's the merited punishment? Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And connected to that is, like, is it ever justified to convict people on what they were going to do? Which we talked about that earlier. Like... Because you don't know. And also, they are, again, the precogs don't actually say, here's what's going to happen. They have a vision that shows up on the big board, and the software interprets it, and then the men interpret the software and pass judgment. I mean, they do have... I mean, it's kind of nice. They have that extra step where they call in the extra, the judge, and he's like, "Hey, this morning I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. Here's the case number. Do you agree? Yep. Here's the, let's go do this." But you don't even know which house it's going to be.
Yeah. So, well, Craig, just because you prevented it from happening doesn't change the fact it was going to happen. Right?
I love that question so much.
Because you caught the ball before it hit the ground.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it wasn't going to. It was still going to. You
It's like
just
that thing in the Matrix, right? You knocked it over. Like, what's going to bake your noodle as if you wouldn't have done it if I didn't ask, didn't tell you to do it.
Exactly where we're at. This is a Matrix level question.
Yeah. So, just kind of the last thing out of that is I thought was really interesting that the Whitwer knows that humans are the problem. He mentions that it's humans that are the problems with this system. He knows this because of original sin and that God gives us free will. Because he believes in those two concepts. He knows that, like, this is going to be flawed. Humans are involved in it. Therefore, it's going to be, it can't be perfect.
It can't be.
I just blew my own mind.
Yeah.
It's so good.
There's always a mistake. So good.
Yes, it holds up, like, visually and all of the things, but the fact
Think
that
about it this way. They got rid of
feels-
pre-crime.
Yeah.
That means there were murders that were now taking place.
Yes.
And does that make it right? Oh, hey, nobody's getting arrested for things they didn't do. Now they're only getting arrested for things they did do that we didn't prevent because we could have prevented it, but we can't now.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, the whole conundrum of this type of system is very incredible. Like, what would you say the right would be? I mean, the right versus wrong. Because now we have murders taking place and the wrong is very evident.
yeah.
So now we're only punishing people for what they've done, not what they were going to do.
I mean, it's tantalizing to think that you have that control, that you can stop that because you know everything. But that's a false control. That's an illusion of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people in this area are very accepting of all of the personal infringements that were taking place. I think the little spider drones that they threw in the apartments are a great example of
Yes.
that. Because the two people who are fighting, the couple that's fighting and arguing, literally
Great scene.
stop mid-argument, get their
Yeah.
eye scanned, and then go right back to fighting and arguing again.
There's a lot of
no
stuff that stops in the
hesitation.
middle.
They just accept it.
Yep.
And so you're looking, you go, I mean, there's some serious infringements taking place here. And they're
no privacy at all.
none. And they're just like, oh, it's okay. I mean, one guy's on the toilet. One guy's, they're doing all these things. And they're just like, okay, go ahead.
There's a couple getting it on, all the things.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
it just, like, they just accept it and move on.
That's
And
a good point, Corey. Yeah.
It's not just that you're getting, pre-crime. You're getting all these infringements that go along with this so that they could find a pre-crime.
Which also goes along with the targeted ads thing, too. Like, you have zero privacy. I mean, even I was thinking, like, that one, he walks into the Gap, and he's like, hey, how did those, T-shirts go? And, like, they're just blaring out what you bought last time.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and there were so
That's-
many different
okay.
ones. It's like, that's the question you're left with. Is it just for them, or are other people seeing those ads come walking
I'm assuming
by?
everybody's hearing it.
Oh, man.
So, good movie.
Good movie. Great
Good
questions.
Alrighty. Let's get out of here. And as we do, we just want to thank everybody for listening. If you want to connect with us, you can find us on X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can email us at readingbetweenreels@gmail.com, or you can use the SpeakPipe app on our website. Leave us a voicemail. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, subscribe, and be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. And one last thing, our next episode will be another sci-fi movie, this time a review of AI. So send us an email or voicemail about your favorite moments from AI, and we will share it on the next episode.